There are 4 main pages in the web application. We will start with the statistic pages. In the first scatter graph, the x-axis stands for the number of takeaway restaurants, and the y-axis bears the obesity rate. First, we load the data for the adults. As you can see from the graph, for most of the areas, out of 100 adults, as many as 60 to 75 are overweight or obese. This is much higher than the world average overweight and obesity number. Also, there is a slight negative correlation. Interestingly, the PHA areas with the highest takeaway restaurant count has the lowest obesity rate. Melbourne CBD, with 569 takeaway places, only has an obesity rate of 43.1. Couple of factors might have helped explain this. First, the population in Melbourne CBD are significantly younger, with 48% of the population between 20 to 29 years old. Secondly, 41.7% of the population are immigrants from Asian countries, with a lower genetic likelihood of overweight or obesity. Thirdly, the residents in CBD are more likely to walk instead of driving, due to factors such as limited parking, etc. Furthermore, the sufficient facilities such as parks and gyms in the CBD area might also impact the lifestyle. Children obesity is a different picture. Most areas concentrate in the lower part of the obesity range, and there is no obvious negative or positive correlation. However, the density is slightly higher in the top right region, where it has more takeaway places. Next graph lists the 10 areas with the highest overweight obesity number. According to the ABS statistics, the weekly household income of these areas are generally below the national average level, which is $1,483 a week, with some areas at as low as $900. The next graph tells the same story. The top 10 areas with the highest count of takeaway restaurants are among the richest areas in Victoria. It seems that the number of takeaway places is more likely to be associated with economic factors, such as income level of the region. If we go to the adult obesity heat map, one can see that most of the regions are dark-colored. This indicates that most areas have over 60% population that is overweight or obese. If we navigate to Melbourne CBD and zoom in, interestingly, the areas around the city center are mostly in a light color. For the child obesity heat map, it's easy to notice that most of the areas have a lighter color, especially comparing to the adults. However, if we zoom into Melbourne CBD area, in contrast to the adult heat map, the closer you draw in the city center, the darker colored regions start to concentrate. It might suggest that potentially children are more vulnerable to the advertisement, customers, even the ambience of the takeaway places. Last, we come to the heat map for takeaway restaurants. As expected, when we zoom in to the Melbourne CBD area, the color of the area increases.